A nut drill is a really handy baiting tool that's probably found in most carp anglers' tackle boxes. It's perfect for adding varying degrees of buoyancy to a variety of baits, but especially tiger nuts and boilies. There's lots of different nut drills on the market. Generally they're all 6mm in diameter and come with the accompanying 6mm cork sticks. We looked at what else was available and thought we could probably design a better one. Now this is the ESP Nut Drill. Firstly, we've used stainless steel for the drill bit. So obviously it won't go rusty in your tackle box. We looked at various other drills, and one I looked at in particular was covered in machine oil. I mean, you wouldn't really want machine oil to taint in your baits, would you? So we've used stainless steel. Now rather than just getting a standard stainless steel drill bit, we actually got one designed and made to our own specification. And it's got a few interesting little technical points to it that we think makes it a better drill. Firstly, it's got a sharp pilot point on the end, which helps to guide it into the bait. So for example, I'm taking a tiger nut here, and you can just pierce the side of the bait with a point, and now that's located. So now it's ready to be drilled in the normal fashion. So you've got the sharp pilot point, and you've got two sharp leading edges on the drill bit, which help to start forming the nice, neat blind hole through the bait. And it's got a very comfortable moulded handle, which rotates nicely in the hand, and it's also got an oval section on the front, so if you put it on your tackle box or something, it won't roll off and land in the mud. So I'm just drilling it through the bait. As you can see, the tiger nut swarf's coming out there. And depending on how much buoyancy you want to add, you can either just drill part way through the bait, or as I've done there, go all the way through. Now as you can see, that's formed a nice, neat, clean hole through the bait. Because this drill's very sharp, there's very little risk of cracking the bait, and so you get a nice, neat hole there. And then you just take the cork stick. The nut drills come with 6 cork sticks, which are a nice snug interference fit in the bait. As you can see, I'll push that through so it's flush with the other side. And I'll just take a pair of scissors and just cut that off flush with the side of the bait. Now how I fish that, you can see that's a nice neat piece of cork that blends in nicely with the colour of the tiger nut. How I fish that, I generally fish 2 tiger nuts on the hair. The one nearest the hook is just a standard tiger nut threaded on, so it's obviously sinking, and then I have the one with a piece of cork inside it on top of that. So it sits up like that, so basically if I'm fishing over a bed of tiger nuts or hempen tiger nuts and the fish are hoovering, that extra degree of buoyancy just makes that bait sit up a little bit, and when the fish comes along, hoovers it up, it's going to fly, the extra buoyancy is going to make it fly back further in the fish's mouth, gaining a good hook hold. So that's generally how I fish them with tiger nuts. You can also use the nut drill for making either just standard bottom bait boilies straight out of a bag to give them a degree of buoyancy, or as I tend to do with some of the sort of shop bought pop-ups that are either made with cork dust or the little glass spheres that give them the buoyancy. Sometimes, especially when using chod rigs with large hooks, say a 4 or a 5, they don't quite have enough buoyancy to keep that rig held up for a long period of time, say overnight, 12 hours or whatever. And when you wind it in the next day, you look at the rig in the edge and it's sort of leant over. And for a chod rig especially to be at its most effective, it needs the hook to be held up in its aggressive position for the duration of time it's out in the water. Now, so what I've got a cork dust pop-up here, so exactly the same as with the tiger nut. Just pierce the side of the bait with a point, start to work the drill in, applying a sort of firm degree of pressure that's not going to crack the bait or split it. And with these pop-ups, I generally go about 2/3 of the way through. See how we're doing, a bit more. As you can see, that's 2/3 of the way through there. And then exactly the same as with the tiger nut, just push the cork stick in, cut it off flush, and there you go. So that's a pop-up with an extra added degree of buoyancy. So I'll just tie that onto a chod rig with the super floss as I would with, say, a cork ball pop-up, and that's going to hold the hook up for the duration of time it's out there. So there you go, that's the ESP Nut Drill, a really handy, practical piece of kit.